This is SFR, the Missing Files. As you watch this video, you will see flyers of just a handful of missing people. Every year in the United States, over 600,000 people go missing. Fortunately, many missing adults and children are found alive and well, but tens of thousands of people remain missing for more than 1 year. Approximately 4,400 unidentified bodies are recovered every year. This entire channel is going to be focused on missing person cases. And I think that's a huge thing that a lot of people need to focus on, because I know locally, if somebody goes missing, the focus is only in that general area or a few towns over. It's not made into a national thing. I know if somebody disappears from California, I'm not going to hear about it unless the media hypes it up and makes it into a big thing that goes across the country. And I think that's where things are flawed. Why we're not getting answers or being able to get certain information out there, especially on these cold cases that are 20 plus years old. Some of the people involved or know something, they probably don't even live in that state anymore. Or they might not even think about the case anymore and what they might know, unless they have something that pops up, like one of these videos that I'm going to start posting on this channel, and then maybe they'll come across it and feel a certain way and want to acknowledge it, want to reach out, want to share what they know, And, I just feel that it's important. There's so many families out there that haven't seen a loved one in so many years because they went missing, and there's no new details on the case, or some of the cases don't have much evidence of anything with the person at all. And these people live every single day with this on their mind. And for somebody that doesn't know somebody that ever went missing, but hears about a case, yeah, you might think about it when you first hear about it, but you're not living with it every day. You know what I mean? It pops in your brain for that time frame and then it disappears. And that's why we really need to get this information out there for these people, for these families that are struggling every single day, wondering what happened to their loved one. What can we do to make a difference for these people? And that's where I want to come in. I want to share as many cases as I can to spread the awareness. I don't want it just strictly in my home state. I want it all the way to California, to Nevada, Florida, Illinois, Maine, you name it, all the states. And I want my videos to be shared across the country, because we really need to get this information out there. Because a lot of these cases, somebody knows something. And we need to be able to help these families get some type of closure, get some information, And I want to spread this awareness as much as I can, and I hope that the people that follow my channel will support me and share these videos. Let's get them everywhere. Let's help. Let's do what we can do to try to bring closure, anything, or any information that we can. I just think that it's so important. And like I said, you hear about it and then it slips your mind because it's not something that happened to you or in your life or to your loved one. But for those loved ones out there that this has happened to, they live with this every single day. What happened to my son? What happened to my daughter? What happened to my mother? What happened to my father? And so on and so on. And they deserve to have some type of peace. no longer living, questioning, is this person still alive? Are they being tortured? Where are they? Did they run away? You know what I mean? We need to try to help in whatever way we can to spread awareness, because this could happen to anybody. That number is huge. 600,000 people. And even though a majority of them do get found, there's a decent portion that don't. A kid riding a bike vanishes. Somebody leaving their job, cars in the parking lot, they vanish, never to be heard from again. How many times a day do you leave your job, or do you leave the grocery store, or go to the gas station, go hang out with friends? You're coming home. But those are things that we do on a day-to-day basis. And a lot of these cases are people doing what they usually do. And there's nothing, no evidence of where they went, where their body is, never heard from again. And it's a very eerie feeling to know that. I've spent so many hours going through a lot of these cases, reading the evidence, the details behind it, and there's so many of them that there's barely anything to go off of. And that's frustrating, I'm sure, for law enforcement, for these families, because if you have no evidence or anything to put you in a direction to help you, it just remains in a standstill. And we have to try our best to get all this out there, share one by one, and any other things that we can do to provide for these families, for finding out information, GoFundMe pages, to hire private investigators to revisit everything, to go and ask their own questions, to find information, help them raise money for search parties, anything that we can do. And as long as we all work together, I remain hopeful that we can find some closure for some of these people. And let's not forget about the 4,400 unidentified bodies that are recovered every single year. They have websites that you can go and look at pictures of either what the person looks like, deceased, or a picture that somebody drew out. I remember years ago when the TV show Disappeared was on, there was a case on there where this mother was looking for her daughter, and she stayed up hours every night searching one of those websites, and she ended up finding her daughter as one of the Jane Does. And there's so many cases that go way back, and you have to think, there has to be so many cases that have flyers out there, and those people might be one of these unidentified people, and nobody knows about it. Nobody's searching these websites. You know what I mean? And the other key thing too is, I was reading somewhere that when you do the Ancestry DNA thing, that they have a third-party website that you can go and put your DNA into. And from what I've read, I don't know how much is accurate, but I believe on the third-party one, they are allowed to use the DNA of the person who put it on there for cases, unidentified individuals. And I recommend anybody who has a missing loved one to do research into that, because if you can submit your DNA and they can use that on one of these unidentified individuals and it comes up with a match to your loved one, then, that would be heartbreaking, but it will also bring you some closure. And I think I read about that like a year ago. But again, I'm not 100% sure. It involved a case of them running someone else's DNA with somebody that was actually involved with a crime. to somebody else, and they ended up matching DNA found on somebody that I believe was murdered or something, and the case got solved, and I believe it was like a 20-year plus case. So, yeah, just throwing that out there. But I hope the best for this channel. Like I said, I want to bring awareness to these families. I think it's so important, and I hope to all my subscribers that join my channel, please share all these videos. Share them to anybody and everything, and please, when you share these, please ask for any platform that you're sharing them with, for anyone on your friends list to share that to. Just one quick share, that's all you need to do. And if we can share these videos into the missing person groups and pages, that would be awesome. And I'm gonna end this, and like I said, in the whole video you're gonna see a handful of people that are missing, and one of the people that are missing, I know the relative of the person, and I can't imagine what she goes through every day, because I know when I see her post his missing photo on Facebook, it literally is heartbreaking, and I immediately go on Google and search his name to see if there's been any developments in the case, and I don't see anything. But let's hope that we can either reach out and have somebody come forward. There's so many ways that somebody could put a tip in. You can do it anonymously, and somebody out there that knows something about a case, could be a case that I don't even post on here. Please, please, please share the information with the police or the FBI, because there is a family out there that is living every single moment of their life missing that person, wondering what happened to them. And I can't imagine how that feels, and I would never want to be put in that place.